There's a whole lot of mighty shit going on. Shout out to all the white Lord across. Especially my boy King Town and Lord too. Yeah. Vicentord. Vicentord. Yes, mighty put down the fire. 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 Vicentord. Vicentord. Yes, mighty put down the fire. 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 NYC, I chose to serve you, travel the line. We always ride. I rock with my brothers, I never deny. You go with the flowers, somebody gon' die. I cause I am forever remain. I got to the never will change. Fight the rotation, the time will change. Shout out, little boy, feel my brother change. King, I'm pushing your dream. I was born for this, I was made for this. And I put it on the fire. Any beat it going live. I be going up the fire. Fuck the slide, I'm slide. And I put it on the fire. Fuck the hate, crucified. You cannot see without the eye. To the day that I die, I'm white, look like I'm trying to make it. Like go to the sun, nigga, next fast. Yo, B-I-C is mighty, they are mighty, mighty, mighty. B is mighty, C is mighty, they are mighty, mighty. V-I-C-E-L-O-R-D, V-I-C-E-L-O-R. Yes, mighty, put that on the fire. 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 V-I-C-E-L-O-R-D, V-I-C-E-L-O-R. Yes, mighty, put that on the fire. Yes, mighty, put that on the fire. Yes, mighty, put that on the fire. Yes, mighty, put that on the fire.
Yeah, peace and Lord, hold to Armageddon upon so almighty to the mighty and all of that good stuff. You know how we open up it mighty beloved. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most beneficent, the master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those whom have bestowed thy grace, the way of those whom portions is not upright and have gone not astray. Amen. But basically, been a minute just been putting together all these different platforms. Well, finding the best platform to do this, man. Lo and behold, we kind of find a platform that we can stream live on all of these sites and be able to maintain it on one dashboard. So that's good. All glory be to God. But that day, like it was on my spirit. Like I mean, I definitely want to not necessarily shout out, but want to send strength to my brothers and sisters fasting during Ramadan, and also we got people in the Christian, you know what I'm saying, like part with my church, like we fasting too, like definitely saying strength and praise, and you know what I'm saying, there's admiration, you know what I'm saying, to the brother, sister during the time of Ramadan. I know son of the son that I already know, you gotta have that strength, man. Gotta make sure you eat for that one meal. When you do eat, you gotta make sure you eat a balanced meal to be able to maintain out here, beloved. But that being said, though, like it was on my heart, my spirit, like I was thinking about, not necessarily thinking about this, but I just see this, like a lot of times in our community, like we try to put the cart before the horse. And me personally, I love nice things, you know what I'm saying? I love good stuff. I kind of grew out of jewelry and a lot of stuff like that. I'm more natural, but I get that. I love the jewelry, I love the car, I love the clothes, I love all that too. But at some point, not necessarily at some point, but the reality is, a lot of time we'll kill ourselves for these things, or we'll mentally kill ourselves trying to get some that really don't have no value. And I'm just looking at society right now, especially in our community of people of color, black people, like, man, the materialism on religion, the religion of materialism, it's a whole beast, an animal. When we look at a lot of our problems with problems in our community, it stems from materialism. You know what I'm saying? Like again, like they say, you don't really supposed to covet your neighbor's possession or property. It kind of create that you know what I'm saying, that thing in you that you feel like you wanna take it or something like that, especially if you coming from a position where you ain't got nothing or you in lack. and you saying it kind of look like a treat. Like you see that dangling, see these people dangling these good old objects and stuff, and it kind of you tricking your mind like, oh, I need that. I feel like I ain't have that, and it kind of create a 1-2 reaction. Like I gotta take it, I gotta rob it, or I gotta hustle for it. So it's like it's like we dead out here, family. Like I just kind of had like this epiphany, like that Battle of the Dry Bone type of scenario, like in the scripts when it was like a lot of battle of dead people, like you see walking fled like without the sinew, like without the sinew, like the flesh on the bones and stuff. Like we got a lot of people dead, like to the materialism beast. Like it really is a beast. I'm just looking at it, and like I said, I do like night things, but I also know how to put myself in a position to afford the thing that I need and get out here and get it, as opposed to trying to trick myself off of something that I really don't need. Well, I mean, really that I don't need. Like we killing ourselves for our wants, and then we got to beg for our needs. Like that. I ain't just speaking as a person. I'm just speaking in general. Like I see that problem in a lot of our community, like dealing with the beast of materialism. I don't know the cure for it, but I was listening to a Marcus Garvey speech, and it just kind of he said something that I ain't even like that brother was before his time. Like yeah, said some of the speech, and it just kind of hit me. It kind of registered with me. He said science and religion is the modern tool. Science and religion is the solution to withstand materialism in the modern sense. And then it didn't hit me when I heard this a couple of years ago, but I was listening to this earlier when he was on in one of his speeches. He was like science and religion, and it was just deep. Cause when you get thinking about it, a lot of time when we come into knowledge of self, and a lot of that we try to throw off the religion. Oh, ain't religion no more, I'm just spiritual. But when you break down religion, the definition of religion is rules and guidelines how you interpret accept your faith. Even a person that agnostics atheists, you know what I'm saying, they still have a way of doing things religious, you know what I'm saying? Cause it's certain type of rituals and routine that you adhere to or you get comfortable with that kind of creates a religion within yourself. So religion to me, when you break it down like that, it's the coach. And then when you get into the science, like science is when you break looking ahead, like it's about planning and about planning. And I was breaking down that a couple of weeks ago with the scientific method. When you applying the scientific thought to a lot of things, it's about taking in consideration the future. You gotta when you apply science to something, it ain't just about the right now. And a lot of times we get caught up in the moment. Like we ain't thinking about tomorrow. Like I gotta get me right now. And I ain't worried about tomorrow and shit. But I'm looking right excuse me, I'm looking right now, man, and I've been fasting myself, right? I've been fasting. I've been fasting on weed. I know I love that weed, so I'm gonna do my I'm gonna add that like in my repertoire, like from Ramadan in month. Like I'm gonna go these 21 to 30 days without smoking, so they're gonna be part of my fast too. But it kind of like different for me. Like I smoked, it kind of leveled my mind out. So it like it just I love information. So getting back into it, not to get all the way out, but he was saying the brother Mark Garvey was saying science and religion. So that's just deep. So like with science, like you gotta really think about stuff in advance. You really gotta apply your mind. You gotta really apply intelligence. And then you gotta kill this ignorance, man. Like it's a lot. We ignorant to a lot of stuff, and we bold in our ignorance. And I remember I used to stand on the phrase when I started calling myself king. Like I broke it down. I love to break things down. I was breaking down king that killing ignorance nationally and globally. When I said it then, I ain't even thinking about it. I ain't even think about it then, but we gotta kill this ignorance, man. Like we gotta kill that ignorance. Like we fucked up, fam. Like we fucked up. Like as a people, like we got people position people's up we got a percentage of us that doing good, but as a whole, like we get judged by our race. in a sense. So even if you make it like whatever your own persuasion or something, you still labeled black. You still a representative of your race. So it's your bad. So you gotta still do your part and do your due diligence, and that come with understanding the history of where we come from and how to go further. Gotta go further. Definitely, Mighty say we keep killing each other. Definitely. We definitely keep killing each other, family. And I can, it's like it's mind-boggling, like that. It's a sickness. That's the correct word. It's a sickness, like disease. Like, how do we start killing each other? Like, do we start with a gun? Nah, it's like we gotta create better, better organization structure, like where we can create preventive measure. Like we gotta, like it really about creating preventive measure. I used to listen to a lot of what Ben Lee say when he in a lot of his speeches too. Like it's about like we gotta like when it, especially in that Lord Infanit documentary like we made up pioneers and what we were doing. At that time, like we pioneered like the LLD movement, truth be told. So it's like we had to like at that time we were more concerned with made criminals in a sense. So it was like we already started looking at the conditions and stuff that we live in. Like we gotta instead of trying to correct the problem after it happened, like we gotta create preventive measures. Coming together as a nation for real. Yeah, definitely family definitely gotta come together as a nation. But the thing, yeah, like I not to go too deep in it 75, but it like this, say our efforts are for the same cause and goal. So if your efforts and your goals are different than mine, I mean I ain't gonna even say like we all got different goals and different effort, but if it don't align with mine, if it ain't aligned with yours, like it's hard to come together because it like for us to come together, we kind of gotta shed the criminal mentality. Like we gotta shed the criminal mentality, even though a lot of them make a living in their lifestyle. A lot of you know what I'm saying, got family that we take care of doing what we doing, but it's like for us to come together like on a major level, like we gotta shed that criminal element, like. Cause again, like they gon' like just off of what we doing, fam. Like they don't want to see us come together. It ain't no day, but it's just the status quo. You know what I'm saying? I do acknowledge the booger man, but I don't look at it like that fictitious white man. I don't look at it like how a person like a white person like a KK. I don't look at it like in a natural sense. We gotta look at like the systematic approach. Like it's a whole system. Like it's a whole process. Like these niggas thought this shit out, family. Like they did fine. Like they've been doing this shit like for over 300 years. Like they put thoughts and science and intelligence into the destruction of our people. To the point they created school, they created institution, they created a system just to keep us down. So man, it's like we falling into the trap. Like we giving up, man. It's like we dead. Like we did. Like it's like we gotta come back to live and not going back into what I started with the materialism. The main problem with materialism, it kind of like the concept when I came into learning about Islam, like from a school type of perspective. And it was the instance on La Bill Baba, Bill Baba beloved. Like I like yeah. But I came into the subject like school when I was learning about Islam, and it's taboo in the Islam culture, Muslim culture, to have any images or any prophets or any images or any saints, anything within the Quran. So the reason why they do that and say that is because the belief and the understanding that images shape our reality. It's like you ended up with like you can see the what's the word? You can see the problem of the different how that affected Christianity. Like with all, there's a lot of symbols and a lot of images of prophets in Christianity where a lot of people ended up worshiping the images as opposed to the actual meaning behind the images. So it created that outward thinking. Like God, the concept of God, like the great I am, the God of all living things, that's in me, that's in you, that's in everybody. It's a God of your own understanding that lives in you. So it's like when we try to find God or put God outside of us, like that what that concept of materialism do. Like we look for God in the outward forces. We look for God in our things outside of us. Like you gotta look for God within you, family. When you find that God within you, like you find your passion, you find that love with that inner love, like you won't need that materialism to validate your being. And that's what it is. A lot of times we see this in the street, we see this in the jail, we see this everywhere, like dead energy. Like, damn man, if I ain't got them ring, or if I ain't got that necklace, or I ain't got that cumin links, or if I ain't got that watch or that Jacob, I ain't got that like if I ain't got what they rappers and stuff got, then I ain't doing shit. I mean, it's sad. It's tough even without being dude, like real man, cause a lot of, know what I'm saying, we men, so you know we want women, we want beautiful women, like we want that taken. I mean, it's unfortunate that we gotta do what we gotta do, like dealing with that energy, cause you get called broke niggas and all of these crazy stuff. If you don't got no position, I get that. So it's unfortunate, but at the same time, man, you can't let. We used to say that. Well, I used to hear that from the OG, like man, can't let these people trick you out the street, man. Can't let nobody trick you out your street, trick you out the streets, and that shit don't make sense. To even how to put a hold yourself to somebody else rule or thumb, cause like I done seen it in so many instances, you know what I'm saying? A lot of drug dealers, a lot of dope. We come from the streets, man. So soon as you get locked up, knocked off or whatnot, your girl gone. A lot of these people saying, Lord, you man, she gone. So it's like, man, you tricking yourself out of the game. Like, and even with the game, the drug game ain't like it used to be. And you got this shit, so it's so chaotic that a lot of people still think it's money, like you can be a millionaire in that world. I mean, you can maintain, but it really, you just running a store, family. If you understand like inventory and all that, it's just really running a store. Cause you buying products, stocking up your merchandise to sell. It ain't like you finna go, you know what I'm saying, big in one way. And like you just finna make one little jewel, one little flip, and that finna be it. Like it's really about running a store, family. That's really what it was like back then, but it used to be a lot more volume in that store. Cause the market was different. You know what I'm saying? Now that shit's saturated. And you got plugs snitching on workers. You know what I'm saying? You got, like I said, you got plugs snitching on workers, bro. So that whole concept of snitching, it's different in that world. Like, how can you really be moral? How can you really be moral in that when the plug snitching on the worker, man? Nigga that you getting work from can snitch on you, bro. So it ain't no loyalty in that world. So a lot of people looking for wrong type of accolades and shit out of that, and ain't nothing in that. And then going back what Margaret Garvey said, man, science and religion, man. Like religion, I broke it down like culture. That lies our redemption, man. You gotta get strong. You gotta get strong in your spirit, bro. You gotta, like, so, you know what I'm saying? You gotta learn yourself. You gotta find that God within you. Like you gotta tap into that Merkaba, that Kundalini energy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta tap into all of that, man. With 229, man. What's going on, fam? You gotta tap into all that energy, man. You gotta tap into that spiritual side of yourself, family. Cause man, this shit ain't it, family. This shit dead. Like that's a dead end course, man. It's like a dead end. There ain't no, like I see people, you wanna work 6 months going hard, digging the law, digging all of this. And it ain't no shine again. Like I understand people gotta do what they gotta do, but I was just trying to explain to somebody like, bro, you gotta deal with lawyer fee, you gotta deal with all, like even sometimes that you might have to take the law. Laws get behind, you gotta throw some work, flex something. So I look at it like this, bro. Like you gonna mess up a lot of money just trying to stay down. Like you gonna mess up a lot of money, and then you can't really spend the money like that because you got to deal with the IRS and you got to deal with all of that whole service. So you better off, you know what I'm saying? Like man, it's a lot of trade. Like CDL, like get your CDL. Like it's a limit. It's a limit. It's a what you call that? It's a it ain't that many people driving right now CDL truck, man. You can go to a little tech school, get your CDL. Like it's a big ass market for truck driver right now. It's a lot, even with Web, it's a lot of different. Even I do Lyft. I make 1,200 a week on Lyft, bro. And like you know, what I'm saying a lot of people might not say that no job, there ain't no money, but I make 1,200 a week just driving, doing like $50 to $60 a week, man. And I ain't not here, and that's all profit. That's all profit. I ain't gotta put this in. I ain't gotta worry about no re-up money. I ain't gotta. That's all profit. I ain't gotta worry about how I'm gonna spend my money. So it ways out here to make money, family, but as opposed to the materialism, like going back just and you know what I'm saying, and what we on starting there, man. The materialism shit killing our family. Like we kind of got excuse my language, but it just get real thinking about that, cause like I see that so much, like especially with a lot of our youth, like they get caught up in the reality of these celebrity rappers, and I mean a lot of these dudes ain't got no money like that, bro. A lot of these people they portraying with other people money, like they flexed up with other people money, they showing off with other people money. So it's like you falling for the smoke and mirror, and you putting your life on the line just to relate to something that ain't even real. You competing with an illusion, family. You competing with an illusion, but I ain't gonna hold y'all too long winded, man. It definitely been mighty and part of my body, man. I kind of got too in my mind, part of my body for the cushion and all of that, man. Definitely man, we gotta stay strong, like for the brothers selling that out here doing their thing, Ramadan and the one fasting, man. Y'all make sure y'all drinking a lot of water, staying hydrated, and oh, no, I'm saying I know, especially a lot of one ain't doing it. I've seen a lot of people this their first time doing Ramadan and all that. But definitely stay strong out here. Make sure y'all eating a balanced meal. Sun up to sundown, like making sure y'all balanced, man. Cause I can get out here in this sun again. It's hot out here, so definitely don't want y'all to pass out. A lot of one, you know what I'm saying? A lot of one fasting for righteous things. But yeah, but yeah, man. Like I said, I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. It's always might. It's always love. And what we got going on in the check we got going on in the comments real quick before we get off here. But how y'all doing, man? I hope, you know what I'm saying, definitely hopefully everything right and good with y'all. But how y'all doing, man? Everything good with y'all, you know what I'm saying? Everything, hopefully everything, y'all having a blessed Sabbath, you know what I'm saying? Sabbatical, like, hopefully everything good with y'all. And I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all just like y'all pray for me. Definitely, we gotta stay strong. We gotta fight the materialism, family. Like I say, it's always good to have nice things, good. But we can't be killing ourselves for that. And with that, on that note, like we're gonna close out with the Lord prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive us of our trespasses, and we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thy is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. I know it might.